Hi everybody, and welcome to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. In this video, we've got a really cool story from the subreddit Entitled People with 2 updates, and then we have a really funny malicious compliance. So if you at any point want to navigate through the different parts of the video, you can always use the timestamps right below it. Now, let's get started with the first story. This post is from the subreddit Entitled People, and it's by user Invisible Flower. Unemployed cousin and her friend want to move in with my friends and I next week. Expect me to pay for everything because we are family, and now my aunt keeps calling me because I told her no way in hell and made her very upset. So my friends and I are moving September 11th out of LA to these luxury apartments in Tempe, Arizona. There will be 6 of us living there. We are all on the lease and have already put down a deposit. We will be splitting the monthly rent. It is $2,160 a month for the cost of the apartment, bringing everyone's total to $360 each for rent. The apartment comes fully furnished. It has 3 bedrooms, each has walk-in closets and its own bathroom, a living room, a kitchen, a sunroom, and 2 balconies. We do have to split the costs of water and electricity, and that's $200, so it's $30 a person. So we each have to pay probably around $400 a month plus the cost of food, but we can eat cheaply if we want. We are all 20 to 21-year-old girls, if that matters. Anyways, my cousin, who is 23, lives in Flagstaff. She wants to move in with us and wants to bring her friend. She still lives at home and found out about me moving into these apartments because my aunt told her. They aren't on the lease and there's really no room for them. They said they don't mind sleeping on the couch or floor. My cousin and her friend both don't work. I told her that I am not willing to pay for anything for her or her friend. She got mad and said, "But you can't afford to live in those nice apartments. Clearly, you have extra spending money." I told her that doesn't mean I want to spend it on you. She called me a selfish bitch, and she said she gets yelled at by her mom a lot, and it's not fair that I get to live in a nice place while she gets to suffer at home. Then she said I must hate her. No, I don't hate her, but I'm not paying for 2 bums to sit around the place and do whatever while everyone else in the apartment goes to work. She then asked if my friends can pay for her and her friend. I said they don't even know you, so they are not going to do that. My cousin then asked, what if her mom pays for her rent and food? And I said, well, if she does, that's great. But the second that money stops coming in and you still don't have a job, you're gone. She said, but you can't kick me out because you're not the landlord. I said, you're not on the lease, so I think I can. She is not in college, not working, and expecting free handouts. No, I don't get free handouts, neither does she. At least, not from me or my friends. I don't care if she thinks I'm being mean. Nobody else is paying for me to stay here other than me. Same for my friends. My friends, roommates, are also like, hell no, to them moving in when I told them, and I agreed that they are being ridiculous. If she shows up on the 11th, that would be pretty funny since she doesn't know what apartment we are in. If her mother wants to pay for everything for her and her friend, that's one thing. But I want that in writing from her mother, and I told her that. Cousin said that's stupid because we are family and you don't do that to family. She also said, I don't get why you won't give me a chance to get a job once I move in. I promise I will get a job if you give me the chance. Then she started screaming and swearing at me and calling me names. I just hung up on her. Now, her mom keeps calling me and leaving voicemails asking why am I being so mean to her and that she's very upset right now. It's like, I have been working 40 plus hours a week, busting my ass off as a server at a restaurant and make $17.50 an hour, on top of keeping up with my college classes. If you think I'm going to pay a penny for my cousin and her friend to do nothing with themselves and mooch off me, you're out of your damn mind. Family or not, I don't care. It's not happening. My cousin can call me whatever derogatory names she wants. My aunt can try and guilt trip me all she wants. I'm about ready to call my aunt back with the monthly costs for both of them and say, if you want to pay for them, that's fine, but I want it in writing. The second you stop paying, they are gone. If she doesn't do that, they don't move in, and I don't think she would do that anyway because they aren't exactly rich. Or I should say to her, well, they don't have jobs and I don't think it's fair for me to have to pay for them while they sit around and do God knows what around the place all day. Everyone living in the apartment is working. Nobody is living there for free. So tell me how you think this is fair. There also isn't really any room for them either. She will probably get pretty pissed off at me, but it's the truth, like, what the F? Well, P, I absolutely agree with you. Like, what the F? They are being ridiculous and entitled, and yeah, you shouldn't be paying for them if you don't want to. What I don't understand is you're making that offer that if her mom pays for her and you have it in writing, then yes, but there isn't any room for them and your friends don't want them in there anyways. So why would you offer that to them? And don't get me wrong, I absolutely understand that they are totally off base by asking to move in with you just because she can't stand her mom or whatever, I don't know, doesn't really matter. The thing is, why would you offer that? It doesn't help anybody. You should just stop talking to them altogether. If you need to block them, phone, email, social media, whatever you want. But don't make an offer that then you can get called out on. What happens if your aunt does agree, gets a loan? I don't know, whatever. But what happens if she agrees? Then you're the a-hole because you promised something or you offered something that you weren't willing to follow through on. I don't think you should have done that. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section your opinion on this topic, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. I Dream in Words says, honestly, even if her mom offers to pay, this sounds like trouble just waiting to happen. Besides, there are already going to be 6 people in a 3-bedroom apartment. Anything beyond that is going to feel awfully cramped. Angelo Papas says, you're a complete dumbass for even entertaining the idea of letting them move in if her mother pays their bills, especially without getting approval from the other roommates. You already have 6 people there, so shut this crap down right away. Duke Kickass says, your cousin and aunt are trying to wear you down because they think you will eventually cave. Even if you trusted the aunt would pay, why invite the drama into your home? Also, it's tough enough living with 5 other people. It would be exponentially worse with 2 more, especially since they both will have no skin in the game, not paying and not on the lease. Stand your ground. One more thing. Both of them seem selfish and highly manipulative for continuing to beat you down with this self-serving arrangement. So those were the top 3 comments of the community, and of course they all agree that the aunt and the cousin are being idiots and that OP should just shut this down. Now, OP does give us more information in the comment sections, but I did work that information into the respective updates to give you guys a better rounded story. So let's move on with the first update now. I called my aunt back and told her she can pay for them if she wants and the cost for them. She said, "Are you out of your mind? Why would I pay for them?" And I said, "Well, why should I?" She said, "Because I'm already living there." I said, "What does that have to do with anything? I refuse to pay a penny towards either of them." She said, "But your family has more money than mine, and you can just ask your parents for money if you can't afford it. I am sick of her sitting around my house all the time." I said, "So what makes you think I want her lying around my apartment all day, eating all my food? Make her get a job or kick her out." She said because then she's out of her hair and she doesn't have to deal with her anymore. She doesn't want to kick her out because she has nowhere to go, that I should have a heart. So I said, "Have a heart? You have got to be effing kidding me right now." There is no way they are moving in here. They are 23 and 24 years old with no jobs and want to freeload. I have been working since I was 17. They have no excuse. She said your older sister would do it. And I said like hell she would. And even if she did, I'm not her. I'm me. My aunt then said, "I'm gonna call your mother and tell her how you are betraying our family. You're such an effing bitch." And hung up on me. Then my mom texted me saying my aunt called her screaming at the top of her lungs about how terrible of a niece I am and that I'm a spoiled brat and just all these derogatory names. My mom said she told my aunt to tell my cousin to get a job or kick her ass out. Nothing in life is free. And then my mom called my cousin and left her a voicemail pretty much telling her to grow up and stop expecting everyone to pay her way through life. She's 23 years old. If she wants to move out, she can get a job and pay for her own place. She is ridiculous for expecting me to pay for anything of hers or thinking I would allow her to move in for free. After that, my cousin called me and told me that I am such a loser because I got my mom involved and I can't handle things myself. I told her actually the loser is the person who expects other people to pay for everything while they do nothing with their life and just freeload off of everyone. She said it's not freeloading, it's helping a family member out. But I'm too selfish to see that, and she's not ready to be an adult, and I should be more sensitive towards her feelings because I have no idea what she's going through. I said everybody has to grow up sometime. You are eventually going to have to get a job at some point. She then got mad and screamed at me that I'm not listening to what she's saying and that I think I know everything, but I don't know crap. I said, okay, well, I have things to do, I don't have time for this, and hung up on her. I'm done with her crap. She is not going through anything. She is trying to manipulate me into feeling sorry for her and cave. I've been down this road many times in the past. Wow, OP, that was tiresome, even by reading it. I can't imagine how it would have been for you to get all those messages and phone calls and all that hate. Good for you for being done with their crap. I believe the strongest argument for you to say no is the fact that her own mother wants to get rid of her because she doesn't want to have to deal with her crap anymore. She wants her out of her hair, to quote her. And you're right, at some point she is going to have to grow up and carry her own weight. But that's on her, not on you. Anyways, now it's time for us to move on to the next update. I keep seeing people ask why I even entertained the idea of my cousin and her friend moving in if my aunt pays for them. With the cost of those two, and knowing how my aunt can't afford to pay for them monthly, knowing those two don't have jobs, I knew it would be an instant no. Since my aunt wants to guilt trip me, try and manipulate me, call me every name under the sun, scream and swear at me for not caving in, I thought it would be fun to mess with my aunt and say sure they can move in if you pay for them. I didn't really mean it, and I knew she was going to say no, which she did, and she expected me to pay for them because I live there, and that's what a good relative does. She wants my cousin out of her hair. None of this is my problem. Immature way of doing it? Yes, but I have been a victim of their manipulation in the past. My roommates are aware of the situation and are laughing at how childish my cousin and aunt are being. They think they are absolutely bonkers, which is true on so many levels. It's like my cousin doesn't understand what no means. I'll just give you guys one example. When I was a teenager, before my cousin moved to Arizona, this was like in 2015, both of them got mad at me because I had tickets to a concert that I was going to with friends and didn't have any extra tickets for her. She found out about the concert because I posted on social media about how excited I was, and this was about a week before the concert. I straight up told her no, you can't go with me when she first asked. She would non-stop harass me on a daily basis trying to get me to cave in. I blocked her. She kept making new accounts and used fake numbers and wouldn't leave me alone. She was threatening me, calling me names, whining and crying about how it's not fair I got to go to a concert without her, and I never even asked her if she wanted to go. My aunt got mad because my mom wouldn't buy her a ticket so she could go, and my mom asked my aunt, if I buy her a ticket, are you going to pay me back? My aunt said, why would I do that? You have more money than me. You can splurge. We are family, and she deserves to go to the concert as much as your daughter. They got into many arguments. On the day of the concert, my aunt dropped my cousin off at my house and drove away. My cousin was under the impression she was going and there was a ticket for her. She had a massive meltdown when that wasn't the case, and my friend's mom had to end up picking us up and dropping us off at the arena because my mom went to drop my cousin back off at her house. We were a little bit late for the concert. My cousin then decided to spread a bunch of lies about me on social media, and my aunt chimed in. Anyway, as of right now, they are both currently blocked because my cousin would not stop blowing up my text messages with derogatory manipulative messages in all caps, and they are both being ridiculous. I think when I move in next Saturday, I'm going to take pictures of them to the leasing and management office and leave their names and say if they show up and ask what apartment I'm in, do not give that out. I don't know if they legally can give them that information without my consent, but I'm not consenting. Well, OP, good for you for blocking them. You definitely don't need that level of toxicity in your life. What you should do now is just enjoy moving into your new apartment with your friends and carrying on with your life. And here's hoping to them not showing up and making some kind of show. And after all of that, we are now going to move on to the next post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance, and it's by user SoftPockets. The end to a free decade of Netflix. Between 8 and 10 years ago, I received an email welcoming me to Netflix. That was a bit concerning since I hadn't signed up, so I contacted the company. They told me someone must have accidentally used my email when they created an account. Our last names were the same and our first initial. I said, "Oh, no problem. You must have additional contact information for them besides my email. Could you please remove my email from the account and let them know so they can fix it?" Well, immediately that was a big problem for Netflix, and well, no, they couldn't remove the email because it was the only one they had for the account, and how did they even know that it was mine? I said, well, give me your email and start talking. I will email you the words as they come out of your mouth. That wasn't good enough for proof somehow. More likely, I was in the other person's Gmail account asking to not have Netflix. What they finally ended up doing was changing the account password, so that when the customer went to log back in, they wouldn't be able to and would need to do a password reset by calling Netflix, and then they would confirm the email address. I kept getting Netflix emails, so that didn't work. I called again, same again, didn't work. I changed the password myself several times because I could use the forgot password function and get an email to reset it. That didn't work. I don't know how they kept getting the new password without updating an email address, and I didn't really care at this point. For the last 8 to 10 years, I have had Netflix on everything I own. I have signed in on hotel televisions, used it on my phone, my Xboxes, my kid uses it. I only ever signed in under Family and told him to do the same. The entire history in Family is us. The other logins, Fred, Softy, and Leela, accumulated history. I would occasionally look because, curious. Never did a single new show appear in the Family watch history that wasn't because of me. Well, I woke up this morning to an email from Netflix telling me that this email address was no longer associated with that account and if I had any questions, etc. Thank you, Softy. It has been an amazing run, and I'm not sure why you gave me free Netflix for the last decade, but I think you're amazing. Well, OP, you did what you could several times to not be associated to that Netflix account. Nothing worked, and then after 8 to 10 years, you were finally removed. Now, I know that usually for Malicious Compliance, I never read comments, but I just want to read one, the best comment ever. Stoic John says, "I've got this same problem with my email tied to some little old lady's home shopping network account. She's recently taken up watercolors. I'm glad she's got a hobby." I don't know why, but I just loved that comment and wanted to share it with you guys. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I certainly did reading them to you. So if you did, then go ahead and give the video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and become a member of our Discord community that just keeps growing, and it is fantastic. And like I said in the beginning of the video, all of the relevant links are in the video description below, so be sure to check them out. And finally, I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. It really does mean a lot to me that you guys enjoy this content, so thank you once again. And having said all that, I will see you guys in the next video.